Let's take a look at adding a cash buffer to your portfolio when you go into retirement. This will help safeguard against volatility and give you lots of options how you might want to be investing the rest of your portfolio and not limit yourself to any type of 4% withdrawal rule. Okay, we have our friend here who is 35 years old and he has a portfolio of 100,000. It's been growing at 6%. He's adding 6K per year, going to be withdrawing about 75,000 before taxes. He has a growth rate of 4% in post-retirement. He's going to leave behind about 200K. He's paying about 15% in taxes when he sells from his portfolio, no additional income, and currently has a cash buffer of 3 years worth of expenses and is forecasting inflation rate to be about 2.5%. So all of this adds up to him retiring at the age of 86 years old and 2 months currently. But what happens if he changes his cash buffer? Currently, he has a nest egg of 1.35 million in his portfolio, right? Of that, 225,000 is going to be put aside into cash. That would be 17% of his portfolio. And if he didn't have that cash already, it's going to be sold off from the other assets. So we're already taking into account the sales tax. He would have paid 33,000 and taking that off the portfolio value. And you can also see here, we are calculating what the new return will be, depending on how much cash is sitting in the portfolio alongside other investments. Remember, he would have been getting a real return of 1.46% on the total portfolio, but because 17% of that is now sitting in cash, the weighted return goes down to 1.22%. Now, what if this person says, okay, 3 years, I know that might help me recover during a market dip once, but how about if it happens multiple times because I'm going to retire early, or I just want to have a higher level of comfort? What happens if I start increasing this? And maybe I'll go for 10 years worth of expenses. I'll go up to 10 years. So my buffer amount will be about 750,000, which is going to be 53% of the portfolio. Now my weighted return goes down to 0.69%. And if I did have to sell off the other investments to raise this cash because I didn't previously have cash in the portfolio, that sale would cost me about 112,500 based on the tax rate I have already calculated. So what does that do to my retirement age? It pushes it back from 86 years and 2 months to 87 and 3 months. So 1 year and 1 month in order to gain 6 extra years of cash buffer. How much cash buffer I have in post-retirement really depends how I want to be managing my portfolio growth in post-retirement. What if I want to increase this and I'll be taking a bit more risk, maybe up to 10%. So the real return is 7.32. And I'm feeling okay because I've got 750,000 in cash. If things go the wrong way, I can just withdraw from the cash for up to 10 years. But with this growth rate, now my retirement age is 86 and 7 months, which would help me retire about 8 months earlier. So I'm not sure if 8 months is worth the risk of not having an extra 7 years of cash and trying to get a 10% return instead of a 4% return. But that's the type of option this gives you. You can play with whatever return you want after you've retired and manage that with different types of cash buffers.